I started like panicking. That scared me a little bit because I wanted to take this time and share this little guy's birth story. All right, so he is 3 weeks. He was born on a Friday. It was 2 days after his due date. I've never made it past my due date. I took the little kids to pick up my preschooler, and we got home, and I knew right away, okay, I'm just gonna grab a couple snacks and some waters, and I'm gonna take them to the park. And so my teenager stayed home. It was around 4 o'clock, and maybe like half an hour in, I felt my first contraction. It was lower back pain, it was lower front pain, and it was painful. And so I remember I texted my husband. I said, finally, I'm getting some painful contractions. And he said, do you want me to come home? I told him, no, I'm at the park right now. Everything's fine. It's not where I have to stop what I'm doing. I can move. When I have the contractions, I can still talk and move around. So it's nothing that's debilitating. I was just being distracted by where I was, which is the point, I think, ultimately of why I took the kids to the playground. I didn't want to just be stuck at home all evening. So it was very nice to just be kind of distracted. I downloaded this timer app for contractions, I guess a couple days before. So right when I pulled into the driveway, I pushed that I was feeling a contraction. And I sat there for just a couple minutes gathering up my things. And as I'm getting out of the car to get the toddler out, I feel another contraction. So I hit the timer again. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, these contractions are 5 minutes apart. Is that a scary thing? Like, I didn't put it together that it was gonna lead to a birth right then and there. I've always had my babies in the early morning hours, or at least I've started laboring in the early hours. I've never had a nighttime birth, and in my mind, I was not gonna have a nighttime birth. So it was like, okay, these contractions are coming and I'm sure they're gonna be here all night. When we got home, I was fixing the kids' dinner. So I was making pancakes while I'm timing my contractions, while I'm texting my midwife, while I'm telling my husband, yeah, you should go ahead and come home now. My midwife was finishing up at another labor, so she was just letting me know that she was heading back to her house to get herself together and for me to call her in an hour. By this time, I finished making their dinner, they finished eating, and then I tell my daughter, okay, Dad's on his way home. I'm gonna go upstairs and lay down. I just laid in bed. I worked on my breathing. I didn't have to talk to anyone. A couple minutes later, my husband came. I heard him, and he finished with helping put the kids to bed, and he came in. He set up the birthing area on the floor with the shower curtain and the sheets and the pads. And then I always birth on the birthing stool that my midwife brings. So everything was set up. We were waiting for the midwife. Well, I hadn't called her back yet because it hadn't been an hour. And so I'm just laying there. My husband sits next to me and he starts timing the contractions by my breathing. And right when it's an hour for me to call my midwife back, my contractions start becoming every 2 minutes. And my midwife at this point, she's like, you really should have called me earlier. And my thought was just, I just wanted to do what you told me to do. You said an hour, and so I wanted to call you in an hour, and I didn't even realize my contractions were coming any sooner than 5 to 7 minutes. So anyways, apparently I was really progressing in labor, and I had no idea. So yeah, I just really thought, because of my other births, that I was gonna have a baby in the morning hours, and that these nighttime hours were gonna just be me laboring and having those contractions. So that's what I had really thought in my mind. So I called my midwife at 8:15, and she says, okay, your contractions are pretty close. I need for your birthing area to be set up, and I want you to get on your hands and knees. I'm on my way. Just get on your hands and knees. And so I was a little bit surprised when she said, get on hands and knees, because I know that's a position to be in to kind of hold the baby in place before the midwife comes. And so I was just kind of like, again, I don't know what was wrong with me. My midwife is on her way. I'm on my hands and knees. I tell my husband I have a mirror that hangs on the door. So I tell him to put that mirror in front of me so I could use it during labor. But it really helped during my time on my hands and knees, because I was able to just look at myself, make eye contact with myself. I was focusing, and I was really conserving my strength and my energy. I had a candle that was lit. A friend had given it to me just the night before, and it was kind of like her way of saying, hey, I'm with you, you can do this. And it was so nice to see that candle out of the corner of my eye, because I not only thought of her, but who she's had for home births herself, but I thought of all the women in my life, and just thinking, okay, I can do this. This is such a gift to birth a child. Children are a gift and a blessing from the Lord. And so that candlelight that I saw out of the corner of my eye just gave me the strength as I thought of all the women in my life. And she called me a couple times, my midwife did, on her way. I started getting like, where is she? Where is she? And almost panicky. I started like panicking. And so that scared me a little bit, because I was in a place of great control. So when I started asking my husband, like, where is she? When is she coming? That raised up a little bit of anxiety in me and fear. Like, why am I acting so afraid? So there's reason for that. So then finally my husband is like, she's here. And I'm just like, oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Next thing I know, my water breaks, and it is a big gush. And midwife comes up, and I'm sure for her, it was just like, oh my gosh, she has to rush, and it's chaotic for her. So I'm so sorry. She checks me, and I am 9 centimeters. Yeah. And less than 15 minutes after she walks into my house, the baby is born. 4-hour labor. I was truly just in shock and amazed. He was healthy. He is healthy. Everything went well for me. I did have some bleeding. I had to receive a shot for my bleeding on the leg, and that was painful. Truly grateful to be able to have my 4th home birth and to recover at home and have my children wake up and walk right into the room and meet their little brother. It is a blessing. Couldn't have done it without my amazing midwife and her great skills and just her wisdom. Super grateful for my husband also, who is kind of like a pro. He was so quick to come in and set up and support me and father our children. So he deserves just a great thank you from me, and I'm just grateful for the community around me, our church family, our friends, our family. Just so much love and support have come during this postpartum time. And so it's been lovely. And that is the birth of this little guy, baby number 5. Thank you for spending the morning with me as I mother all these kiddos and try to get some things done and listening to his birth story. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.